What's going on, my high vibrational expression of God on earth? Let's break down the reset. Nesara, the coming reset is here. The new Feast of Trumpets, the government shutdown, the Declaration of Authority and Summons, the UCMJ, the collapse of the United States Corporation, the removal of the CHEVRON doctrine, the establishment of the Genius Act, and sovereign rights underneath the new, and all this is the classes is a part of the new app, digital education for the digital revolution, cryptocurrency, over and understanding XLM and XRP, and how you should position yourself for the coming reset of our currency. Brothers and sisters, it's a great day to be alive. As long as you over and understand the Feast of the Trumpets, the takedown and the shutdown of the government. All of this was and is by design. It's not an accident. Everything has been coordinated. I don't know if you could give the credence to, and again, I am not for, nor am I against. I'm just sharing the global economic reset that is taking place. And I'm not a financial planner, so I'm not giving any financial advice, but I would highly recommend that you connect with someone and start delving into over and understanding cryptocurrency, the blockchain, and everything that I've set up inside of my new app. Again, the title of the new app is the Digital Revolution 3.0 Academy. Brothers and sisters, today you want to make sure that you are taking steps. If you have not done so already, I implore you to take steps, even if it's just, enrolling in and understanding the basics, or just going online and getting the basics of understanding what is happening right now with the Great Reset, the new digital reset. The origins and understanding of ISO and XRP and Ripple, the blockchain, cryptocurrency, and all of the different structured capitalism and the sovereign wealth fund that has been and is being rolled out by the dominant culture. Understanding this capital displacement, the new AI social commerce. You're getting paid now, as I've been saying for years, for attention. This is the new attention economy. But it's deeper than that, because you have to delve into understanding, overstanding, and understanding what I talked about this morning on my Facebook page. This is the golden age of overlapping, whether you buy into it or understanding universal debt relief and the gold-backed cryptocurrency, blockchain. Nobody really knows which currency or which stable coin that's going to be quantum financial backed, or what they call a QFC system. So this is a quantum financial system that has been established. Me personally, I think the Trumps, Donald Trump, Barron Trump, are going to come out. Trump will come out with his own cryptocurrency. Trump will come out with his own system and totally usurp all the current systems. If I was Trump, if I'm a bad guy, I'm not going to use somebody else's system. I want to come up with my own system. Because he understands mining and the blockchain, or he's connected himself with people who understand, okay, now QFC is going to be a program that's going to totally replace all of the central banks. And so now we gotta look at all of how are they going to bring about the tokenization of the central bank monetary system, where it's going to be based upon the new quantum system that's not even out yet. So we don't really have access to quantum computers. Remember, I wrote a book and did shows on Sanskrit, and I broke down the new Tower of Babel, which is nothing but the Tower of Babel upside down, which is a quantum computer. So the inability for most people, especially at Kibelans, to understand how the central bank monetary system will be banked on and based upon a new quantum financial system, which, I mean, the good old boys, they know, but the average at Kibelans, we don't have access to that information. Even stuff like coming out with that the good old boys have had, that all of the med tech that I looked into, me and Brother Rich looked into 2 years ago. And all that stuff was classified, and I purchased a machine that regrows teeth with frequency. And the machine came, but it was missing parts because it's illegal in the United States. So what the good old boys, whether you are for, the regime or not. Now remember, the shutdown of the government was for the purpose of shutting down the deep state and to reestablish the republic. And so the Great Reset is a shutdown of all of the stuff that the Chevron doctrine established, where you can go and create something like a homeowners association. And the homeowners association can come up with something called, again, deed restrictions. Those deed restrictions are just made up. They're not based upon constitutional law. There is a statute. It's not federal or state. They're just made up. But they enforce it. But the Chevron doctrine gave individual organizations, as long as you was part of some alphabet soup agency, it gave you the ability to basically enforce laws that were not constitutional. They were not for the people, by the people. And you don't have no rights. So now the good old boys supposedly, at least in writing, according to the Genius Act, and according to the Declaration of Authority and Summons, which again, you can research and Google all this stuff, or just enroll in my school and my app, again, where I break all of this down, because it's so important that you master or at least have the basic understanding of the new digital revolution, because it's already here. Today's message is to bring you up to speed with some choices that you have to make for yourself and for your family. Now, whether you go out and purchase different Bitcoin, especially XRP, or whether you delve into, to me, I would start with over understanding the blockchain. I mean, that's what I did. I would start understanding, AI. I would start doing what I did. I just built, like 10 apps. I would start building apps. I would start understanding Web 3.0. I will learn everything about the digital reset and XRP and ISO 20022 and the new economy to position yourself, at least so that way, whether you purchase any Bitcoin or not, and whether you get into structured, capitalism and all of the stuff that I'm doing, okay, just another study for another time. But it's very, very important that you at least understand that the AI revolution and the new economy, boo-boo, is here. Whether you are for Trump or not, man, it's crazy, because I don't know why they just don't come out and say it, what they're doing. With all of the stuff that Trump is doing, is he's destroying the deep state. But on paper, it looks like my boy is going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But it's your job to understand XRP and Ripple. You have to understand the AI revolution and the new economy. You got to understand e-commerce or the digital economy. You got to understand Ethereum. You got to understand stable coins and the digital dollar. You got to understand Bitcoin fundamentals. You got to understand digital wallets. You got to understand digital security. You got to understand NFTs and the digital ownership. You got to understand cryptocurrency regulation and compliance. You must understand the basics of mining. You must understand the basics of getting started with crypto. You must understand the basics of understanding the blockchain terminology and cryptocurrency investing. You got to understand the basics of the future of what we call social commerce. You've got to understand that the digital system is replacing the SWIFT system. Right now, if you want to do any type of a international bank wire transfer, it's done on the SWIFT system. So what is SWIFT? And SWIFT is being replaced with a whole new system that's based upon smart contracts and the blockchain governance and blockchain gaming from the perspective of understanding that cryptocurrency and the blockchain is an entirely new system. So we want to get into now the Stellar network and breaking down what that entails and what that means. Because all of this is part of the new global finance standard. This new global finance standard, again, don't get overwhelmed by terms. Just take it like I did, one step at a time. Bloom where you plant it. If you got, an extra $5 grand, sitting around, yeah, you want to take it and invest into different cryptocurrencies. Because when the Great Reset happens, there are certain currencies that's going to, if you hold, for example, using, say, XRP as an example, there's pluses and minuses. So, man, it is, and it can be confusing because different people are promoting and saying different frequencies, different things. And so what happens, especially, who do you get your advice from? That's why it's so dangerous. Because if you get the wrong advice, you could end up in the wrong position. So stable coins are coming and replacing. But is that stable coin going to be a part of the new system that has to be backed by some type of liquidity? That just simply means that if there is a reset, people are going to go to the bank and their dollar is going to be gone from the perspective of it will not have any more value. Could you imagine being a millionaire one day and then wake up the next day and your money, that $1 million, has no value? Have you read the Genius Act? One of the things about the Genius Act, it's about making America the leader in digital assets. So when Donald J. Trump signed the Genius Act into law, two things stood out. The first thing that stands out in the Genius Act is prioritizing consumer protection while strengthening the U.S. dollar's reserve currency status. Not the U.S. dollar, the U.S. dollar reserve currency status. Then the second thing, in addition to strengthening the reserves, what they call REs, or rare elements. That's why Trump wants to buy Greenland, because of the rare earth elements. Now, Africa, but he can't go over there and take over Africa. But he can buy and own Greenland. And the other country, which one was the other one? Iceland or Switzerland? The other one that has these rare earth minerals, or these rare earth elements. The next thing about the Genius Act is Trump wants to make America the undisputed leader in digital assets. Not currency, digital assets. He wants to invest in the innovation of our country so that the United States is the leader and the first ever federally regulated system for stable coins to help establish stability and trust. Nobody trusts most of the coins or the cryptocurrency that is out today, because very few people understand the basics of cryptocurrency and Bitcoins and all the stuff that's out. So Trump wants to establish a reserve that is backed by something other than just mining in the blockchain. So he wants to establish a stable coin. Now, again, all of these are just classes that's inside of my new app, which is just, an app, which is just a fancy, just a website that, quote unquote, doesn't require me to be there. Because once you go in, make the payments, you just download the class. Now, a website does the same thing. The app is just something that you can actually download onto your phone. If I decided, which I haven't decided yet, just depending on the response, to upload it onto where you can purchase it from, you can go to the App Store and purchase it. If the demand is there, absolutely. So when we talk about when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at just one thing and one thing only. which is the same thing that thankfully Trump is looking at. Is it stable? Is there some type of a asset collateral? I understand the algorithm and blockchain, but what type of a tangible physical asset that's going to be able to, that's behind that coin to maintain its stability? So we talk about a cryptocurrency, regardless of which one or what type. Is that cryptocurrency designed to maintain a stable value? Because right now, the whole everything about cryptocurrency, blockchain, and just it came out. It's been unstable. It goes way up and it goes way down. So it's totally different from fiat currency. Because fiat currency originally was backed by gold. And so the goal is get to a point where, for me, the blockchain technology, with all the high speed and, transactions and, all of the stuff that the blockchain can do, but we're going to tie it into one, but that's going to be more than one. They're not going to just use just one cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin. And if they don't, okay, which currency are they going to use? What if you choose the wrong currency? So the goal is to understand that a stable coin is a cryptocurrency where the value is designed to be more stable than other currencies. Right now, that specific, to my knowledge, I'm sure the good old boys have already, pegged or set aside a specific currency that will equate to the value and is backed by the U.S. Treasury that has some type of liquidity asset in reserve. There's something that's backing up this coin. There was one coin called Tether. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not saying you to go out and buy up a bunch of tokens and blah, blah, blah. Because remember, we can get to the politics of this and get into, okay, what is BlackRock doing? If you want to know what to do, look at where all the 1% is putting their money. So when we look at these different tokens, these different coins, Tether, just like all the other coins, that the goal is to try to, come up with a digital, token, for lack of a better term, currency that really, really, really allows you to put trust in that digital token, in that blockchain, in that asset, to basically understand that, okay, this is backed by full transparency and it matches some type of a reserve that you can, see tangible. Not like an NFT. It's not just like, okay, that's what we got. I'm just going to put it out of thin air. And then who controls it? Who does the mining behind it? Who establishes it? And then is it acceptable on the global market? So, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. I'm not suggesting, unless you're really into it, because there are some people that's really into this kind of stuff. Me, not so much. I just understand the importance of it, because Tether, like all of these other coins, it's a blockchain-enabled coin. It's on the platform. It's on the blockchain. But it's designed to do what? To facilitate the use of flat or fiat currency in a digital manner. It simply means that you can use the dollar as well as the blockchain or the cryptocurrency to conduct transactions. So if you have a lot of dollars, you want to make sure that your dollar is able to be transferred into a currency or a commodity to be used in the digital world. And how does it transfer one to one? How does it transfer? How does it work? So that's what the stable coin, that's what all of this is all about. It's all about understanding. There's a lot of digital tokens and digital coins. They're not backed by physical gold. Then there are some that are backed by physical gold. Because why? Gold is an excellent store of value. Over all the years gold has held its value. But should you go out and buy a bunch of gold? People buying Desert Eagle coins and so on and so forth? Maybe, maybe not. So you want to diversify. Now that's just looking at the financial aspects of everything that is going on in the world today. Now we got to look at, what about all of the spiritual aspects of what's happening in the world today? There's a lot of spiritual component to what's going on. You have to be spiritually, and that's, you guys know, that's my expertise. I know my brother GOVT has a lot more, knowledge in the area of, and as far as breaking down some of the coins or getting ideals of about which coin should you have, 5 coins in one area or 1 coin in 5 different areas and that kind of thing, because it can be the whole cryptocurrency space and understanding, how all of this is being played out, because it does require a certain level of awareness. And so that might be, and you guys let me know if that's something that you guys would like more a class on deeper, and maybe connect with my boy, Brother GOVT, as well as, some of the people that he, has talked to or know about, and maybe do a class that doing a deeper dive into some, recommendations that's based up on some solid knowledge. Just like I know XRP is definitely, like, let's say if you look at 4 major, coins that you may want to invest in, what would be the top 3 or the top 4? That may be something that we may want to look at as a group as well. Again, I have my ideals and how I've positioned myself, and that's assuming if you have some, if you got some never invest money again that you're not okay with losing. That's the first thing out of the bat. Don't take your life savings and go out and throw it all. You listen to some guru and you put all your whole life savings in the XRP or some other Bitcoin, some other cryptocurrency. I would not recommend that. I mean, you could, but then what happens if you don't? That's a risk that everybody you have to make that up for yourself. Because you have to be able to leverage yourself, and you have to make that decision whether or not you want to take somebody else's advice and invest X amount of dollars into X amount of space. What I'm saying today, which is very important, we are in the middle of a global currency reset, period. I don't care who you talk to, how you slice it and dice it, it's already happening. Number 2, this new global currency reset will be a QFC reset. It's going to be a quantum financial system. It's going to be based upon this new quantum technology, because this quantum computing cryptocurrency, for lack of a better term, I'm trying to use my words because it's extremely important, because when we talk about quantum computers and cryptocurrency, and when you combine those two, you're creating, again, it's on the blockchain. That's good and bad. It's like having a dedicated internet line in your home. Remember they came out with I don't know if they got that in your neighborhood yet, but they're going around and, hey, you want a dedicated line. Man, it's awesome. It's a dedicated line. That means everybody knows exactly every keystroke that you're making. Whoever have access to that dedicated line. So the cryptographic algorithm, because remember, it's based upon, the technology of that they use in the military. crypto, I don't know what they call it, cryptography. I think that's the term they use. But basically, that's what cryptocurrency is. It's a ledger. It's a way to track every single purchase that you make. That's good and bad, because depending on what, okay. Well, I mean, that makes it secure. But remember, the best way to take somebody's freedom is to offer them security and comfort. All laws that lead to tyranny. And you got to remember, this whole shutdown of the government, this whole takedown, was based upon the Feast of Trumpets in Leviticus 23. The deep state, blow the trumpet in Zion. At the last sound, at the last trump, Donald Trump. At the last, now remember, I said that in his first presidency, that Donald Trump was ushering in Stellar, what I call Stellar. Because, you know, like PayPal is already on it. They're already on the Stellar blockchain. There was a great book written by James Rickards. James Rickards, the title of the book is called Sold Out. Being barred from your own money. People are getting paid now for scrolling, not searching. When you understand, you have to now start creating your own digital products. What I've been doing for 30 years. I just got here a lot earlier than everybody else. I don't know if you noticed, like my boy that makes, what's that guy's name? He uses AI to make 40 videos a day. 40. Why? Attention. This is the attention economy. So whoever can get your attention and keep it, the millionaires of tomorrow are going to be people that are able to get attention and keep it. That's what Nesara is all about. The shutdown of the government is about dismantling the U.S. corporation and reestablishing the republic. So that's good if you're a part of the republic. Now, I'm not no historian, but the republic was them good old boys. It was not for us coloreds. So all this is great news if you're part of the dominant culture. Now, maybe they're going to throw us a bone. But I'm not putting the keys to my happiness in the dominant culture's pocket. I don't know about you. You got to do you, boo-boo. I'm going to do me. So I'm reading all this and I'm watching all of this, and I can see the forest and the trees. Because everything I'm telling you today, I wrote a book called At the Last Trump, during Donald Trump's, before his first presidency. And I told you that Donald Trump will be president. And everything that's happening, I tell you it's going to happen. So Donald Trump is replacing maritime law with common law. Okay, that's good. But Negro, are you included in the common law? I mean, I'm asking for a friend, man. One of you high vibrational Negroes help me out. Does all of this stuff include melanated people? Go back and look at history, Negro. You remember Dred Scott? I mean, 99.99% of the time, I'm not a betting man, but if I'm a betting man, all of this Genius Act stuff and all of this stuff that they're rolling out is for reestablishing the republic. That's great. I just don't know if indigenous peoples, native peoples, the original Olmecs, the original peoples, are we included in that, or are we still on the plantation or the reservation? All of this is stuff you got to think about, bro, before you jump in and say, yeah, I'm all in, man. I'm going to follow them good old boys. Yeah? Y'all watch Django. Yeah, I'm just saying. Let's keep it real. So this global currency reset, this quantum financial system, is it for everybody? Because what they're doing is all banks worldwide is moving to a central bank digital currency, a CBDC. And once that happens, it's going to be very good for everybody that they say. I mean, just look at what's going on right now. Who's a citizen? The boy is he says he's going to reclassify, going to make it legal to, remove, quote unquote, there's no more birthright citizenship. I don't know if they passed it, but he's trying to get rid of it. I don't know if y'all know what that means. Because back in the day, if you was born in these good old U.S. of A., you was a citizen. But your boy wants to get rid of that. He wants to be able to deport American citizens. Do y'all know what that means? Saying like, man, we have to read the small print, brothers and sisters. That's all I'm saying. All of this stuff, the spiritual aspects of what's going on, and the technology I was telling you about. These good old boys are coming out with, I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with my boy, the reverse agent. Remember my book, Reverse Agent? He has a 3D bioprinting stem cell transplant gene editing machine. These good old boys now want to now remember the tech's been out. I was trying to get one eons ago. The good old boys have access to all of this reverse aging tech. Look at your boy, Neuralink, Elon Musk. So the economic transformation, they want to also bring about a health transformation. The good old boys, they want to stick around for a long time. I ain't mad at them. But Negro, does that include you? So the central bank, Project Pine, you haven't heard of Project Pine, you might want to check it out. The quantum banking systems that are setting up this peer-to-peer system, the blockchain. Remember, that's back in the day, that's what they used to call slavery. When they put the slaves, they put them on the block. They was in chains. Crypto. Y'all know what the word crypto means? I know I'm not the only one. Crypto, you know what it means? Crypt, brother, that means dead. Why couldn't we come up with a better term than crypt? I mean, I'm asking for friends. The good old boys, the enemy is smarter than I remember, but he's the most cunning, according to the script. The script says the most cunning. There was a lot of frequencies out there, but that serpent, we don't want to break you. You know what that word means, serpent? I mean, we've done many shows. Y'all know now. It simply means live. Anybody that has been around long enough to get smarter than everybody else, that's a serpent. A serpent, look it up. I've already done the research and we've done the shows, wrote books on it already. And all y'all have celebrated as part of my group, you already understand. So once again, let's keep it, all of this stuff. This is all rolling out at the same time. It's just like, bam, you've been hit. To me, this is the greatest time in the world to be alive. It is. This is the greatest time to be alive. But it's also the greatest time to get conned, Negro. There's a lot of Negroes that are still in religion. They're going to get mind F. It's going to be terrible. They're going to wake up one day, and they're going to be broke. Or they're going to go to some, concentration camp set up by the government where you get free food. Negroes like to eat. Right, so the Chantal? We like to eat, so the Chantal. So Negroes going to go. They're going to line up to the Chantal by the thousands. What? Free place to stay. Free meal. It just comes at the price of your freedom, homie. All of this has been rolled. This is the Great Reset. That's why I created the 360 degrees of gnosis. That's a whole nother app. I just released 3 apps, breaking all of this down, dealing with the 3 levels: cosmology, theology, and biology. I hope to God you understand. Now, again, my brothers and sisters, this is not my first rodeo. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm gonna use the word thankfully, I have a unfair advantage. The unfair advantage I have is I was born in September. That's my gift. So my gift makes room for me. It takes me before kings. Your gift does the same thing. So the key to success is for you to operate inside of your gift. I just happen to have the gift to be able to see the forest, and I see that the forest got trees in it. Some folks, they can see the forest, but they can't see the trees. That's okay because that's not their gift. You can't let me or nobody else gaslight you or make you feel bad because, somebody can see something that you can't, because you got something that I don't. We all have a purpose. We all have a destiny. We all have a diakonia. It's extremely important, brothers and sisters, that you walk in your calling, that you walk in your destiny, that you over and understand, because this whole reset is positive and negative, just like everything on this planet. It's all about how you see yourselves or yourself. It's not about anything else. It's extremely important, brothers and sisters, that you be you, because you can't be anybody else. So you might as well be yourself. Why would you want to be anybody else? So you got to be yourself. So what I did was I created a basic level, an intermediate level, an advanced level, online app that breaks down step by step everything that takes you from zero to hero when it comes to this entire reset. I mean, I wanted to make sure that every question that I had from basic level, each class comes with its own book, aka PDF document. I shouldn't say book, but some of it's only like 2 or 3 pages, and some of it's obviously a lot more in depth. The app also includes some audios. The original 360 has a 1-hour audio to accompany each book. The digital one doesn't, only because I haven't done that many audios dealing with crypto and the blockchain, but I am uploading them every day. Like this will be a part of and included in the app and a part of the school as well. The goal is to get to the point where I have just as many audio programs to accompany the PDF documents that's inside of the academy. Now, it's very, very important, brothers and sisters. That's like everything. There's 3 tiers. Got the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. I recommend tier 1 is just the basic stuff. It has a free class where everybody can you can log online and if you want to take the free class just to kind of get your feet wet, and say, hey, this is something I might want to do. And then once you do, you're able to go through and enroll in each one of the the classes based upon the one that you see or that works for you. Each level is $9.99, the one-time purchase. Again, you got discounts. You can take the classes $33.33, one class at a time. Or, like always, it's getting all 3 levels at one purchase. Normally sells for basically $3,000 or $2,997. There is a discount, obviously, if you purchase them all together of $1,998, which is a savings of a little over $1,000. Or you just take the class one at a time. And just pick one, 2. Maybe there's only, out of all the classes, maybe there's only, 4 classes that really resonate with you. The goal was to not make it so I put 21 classes at each level. And so each class goes through, different levels, different classes and different information. And, like I said, I will be adding more, classes, based up on feedback. And if something like, especially for me, this Nesara thing that they've been talking about, where they're going to say this universal wage income, they're going to get rid of the IRS, they're going to defund and get rid of now. Supposedly all that's already happened. They signed it into law. I just would not recommend, not paying your taxes. Or just say, hey, Donald Trump defunded the IRS. Okay, what are the billionaires doing? So what is Bezos doing? What are the 1%ers doing? So we have to be very strategic. We have to be very smart. We just don't want to get ahead of the cart. Don't put the don't put the cart before the horse. What has the United States, what is the U.S. digital dollar global reserve currency status? As of today, right now as we speak, the United States Treasury Department hasn't came out with the digital dollar with the face of, I'm thinking it's going to be the face of Donald Trump, knowing Donald Trump, and said, this is the new currency of America. I believe it's coming because Trump wants to be the crypto capital of the world. So in order to be the crypto capital of the world, he has to come up with a cryptocurrency that has the ability to drive all of the economic growth and the technological leadership that is needed to establish the strategic cryptocurrency / Bitcoin reserve and U.S. digital asset stockpile. He got to be able to come up with an undisputed digital currency that the whole world be like, whoa, let's jump on that. And it will be whatever it is, whether it's XRP or whether it's one of the other, gazillion Bitcoins out there. Once the U.S. government, once Donald Trump comes out and establishes a undisputed coin as the leader, the people that's in the know, they're already buying that coin right now as we speak. So that way they can position themselves. Now, if it's XRP, that's awesome. So that's why it's important that, okay, if you're really into the investing aspect, I never really got into, investing because I was always a creator. Like the Warren Buffetts of the world, I never really got into just making money, pulling money out of thin air, basically. I've always been the one who liked to create something of value and then present that something of value that solves a specific problem in exchange for X amount of dollars. So that's that. But again, there's nothing. I'm not against if you are like my boy Richie Rich, who does day trading. If you can get online and you can look at stocks and you can take $10 and put it into a stock and turn that $10 into $1,000, sitting in a chair in your drawers day trading, bruh. Then you take that 1,000 and turn it into 10. You take the 10 and turn it into 100. You take the 100 and turn it into a meal, and you ain't do nothing except put your money in a proper place, bruh. I ain't mad at you. To trust and believe. I respect the skill set. That's not much. Again, remember, stay in your lane when it comes to this blockchain and the cryptocurrency stuff. If it makes sense to you and it comes easy to you, man, absolutely, all day, every day. It's very important out of everything that's said, and I know I've dropped a lot of information in you, but out of everything that I've said today, it's very, very important, brothers and sisters, stay in your lane, especially with the cryptocurrency stuff. There's a lot of people that's going to make a lot of money, but there's going to be a lot of people that's going to lose a lot of money. That's in every shift, in every change. For me, look at the laws that we discussed. Go back and research the Great Research, the Great Reset. Go back. Remember, that's Klaus Schloss, whatever his name. Go back and research The Declaration of Authority and Summons Act. Go back and research the Declaration of Authority and Summons. Go back and research the Chevron doctrine that I mentioned earlier. Research the Chevron doctrine. Go back and research the Genius Act that I mentioned. Go back and research what is the Feast of Trumpets. What is the Day of Atonement? Go back and read Leviticus 23. Trump is fulfilling all of these prophecies right before our eyes. I didn't even get into the book of Daniel nor the book of Revelations. Trump is fulfilling all of these prophecies. And the churches, most people in the church are clueless. They have no idea. I ain't for Trump. I ain't against Trump. I don't do politics. I ain't voted in, 10 years. I'm not going to waste my time and energy to go stand in line and vote for something that does. Are you serious? Not me, homie. My energy is way more important. My time and my energy. Yeah, I keep my time and my energy. That's why I have a lot more time and more energy than most people. I don't invest my time and energy that doesn't give me a return on my investment. Thank you very much. I don't put my time and energy into people who don't put their time and energy into me. Hallelujah. Won't he do it? Now, most black folks, they ain't there yet. But do you, homie, do you. But this is not my first rodeo, dog. How you think I got here? I got here by investing my time and energy into the mother that didn't give me no time and energy back. I used to give $40K to the church every year, faithfully. I asked the church for $300, and they said, brother, can't you believe God? Man, I ain't gave a dime cents. Personal real-life experience trump book knowledge. Let me say that shit again. Personal real-life experience trumps book knowledge. So I have very limited personal real-life experience in the area. Sure, I've dibbled and dabbled. I remember my boy way back in the day, my boy, what's his name? I forgot his name. He was really, so yeah, I've invested some shekels. This was like 10 years ago in the Bitcoin or whatever. Man, we lost we lost everything. But like I told you, I never invest money that I need. Because I learned. When John Avanzini came to town and said, God has to bless you 100-fold. So, man, Brother Jibbade, I ain't stupid, bro. I think it was 10-fold. That's what the preacher said, Brother Jibbade. He says, God has to. I said, he do? So I put my $1,000, I took my $1,000 for rent and I put it in there. Because that means God got to give me 10. That's what the preacher said. So the Chantal, so that's what I did. But I'm still waiting. Now, I ain't saying it don't work, because it do. But that's not how it works. Because it works off belief. It's done unto you as you believe. So you ain't supposed to put your belief in the preacher. You supposed to put your belief in source. Or God, they left that part out. But then you also have to deal with your own anxiety, your own fear. Why are you investing anyway? Because you're scarred? Are you in a position of fear or in a position of faith? See, all of that to me is way more important than the new quantum financial system. Are you running scared? Are you walking in certainty? Are you walking in clarity? And are you walking in confidence? So this new Global Economic Security and Recovery Act, I recommend you research it. The new national, if you want to use the word new, because really it's not, it's just the returning of the old. Remember, quantum computer is the Tower of Babel reborn. Remember, what is it like in the days of Noah? So shall it be. What was going on? So everything that we discussed, especially the new, the new reverse engineering, the new bad stuff that I was talking about, all of that stuff, the National Economic Security and Recovery Act, all the stuff that the good old boys doing to reverse aging, they was doing that back at Daniel 4. Iron and clay don't mix. That don't stop the good old boys from trying to mix it, though. So again, we dropped and we talked about a lot of information. All of this is based upon in classes inside of my new app. And again, each module is $1K, or you just take the classes individually. I got 3 new apps. The sale ended yesterday for getting all 3 for the price of 1. But whether you take and enroll in my classes in my app, just go to the website and look at the names of some of the classes. Just go check it out. And you will see just by looking at the classes, which is, again, we're talking about mastering the digital revolution. The digital education, it's here already. So I have it, it's an AI-powered app. So the answers that you're getting are up to date because I put in an advanced AI tutor inside of the app based upon the digital revolution. Now, the Shutdown Academy, that's because that's history, doesn't really need the AI aspects of it. But also the Master Teacher 33, 360 Degrees of Gnosis, that's all my information only. So I created my own large language model. I uploaded all my own books and all my own audios. So the information that you're getting is not from AI. It's from me. It's from all of my years of researching and understanding. That's some high-level stuff from the perspective of if you really want to see the forest for the trees. But what we're specifically talking about today is underneath, and I may change, but right now it's AI-Finance-Academy. So the AI Finance Academy, which is because the word I want to use is already taken, digital revolution and digital education. But the term AI Finance or AI Finance Academy is still available. So brothers and sisters, that's about it. Hear the baby crying in the background. Got some visitors. So I love you, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me on today's show. And we're going to see you at the top. God bless.